So, Neo Scavenger.
Yes, this is a survival-based game that I've played a little bit of. My friend here has not played much of it, and he's not played any of it, actually. We just did a quick test recording to record audio, get that all situated and whatnot.
Yep, so he's going to read and I'm going to murder hobo.
Yeah.
There's no desktop audio.
So, it's interesting.
There it goes. Now we got something.
Yeah. So, these are the abilities you can choose from. You can take the little squares and the abilities is how much the ability cost. And the red abilities give you points back.
Would it be a good idea to get melee? Or medic?
Medic is really good to get because you'll be able to notice like your detailed status, essentially.
Okay. And then tracking?
I'd say tracking is really good. In fact, I think you've got a really good starting build. I think you're ready. Yeah. You wake up disoriented, slumped over the base of an empty cryosleep pod, still damp from cryo fluid. The thick dust from the floor clings to your skin, leaving a clean spot on the ground where a large O5 is painted. Across the room there is an open door to the hallway and a broken window leading outside. Just as you gather your wits, an unearthly scream erupts from down the hallway beyond the doorway. Something is coming fast. If you know what I'm saying. From the control panel, you call up the emergency stasis evacuation code. Doing this will override the normal thawing procedure and dump an entire tank's contents onto the floor instantly. The rush of sub-freezing fluid might scare off the monster, and maybe the monster will go for the sleeper instead of you.
I say 2 instead of 1.
Punching in the code for the celebrity, you rush back to your own tube and reseal it. Tank number 1 starts to hum, and the seal breaks with a roaring rush of fluid. The room squeals and flexes with the chilling cold of the liquid nitrogen covering the floor. Within moments, the nitrogen has boiled off at room temperature, leaving a frozen mansicle on the floor. Initially, the dogman backs off, unsure of the commotion that just occurred. However, hunger quickly replaces concern. As the smell of thawing flesh catches his attention, he starts dragging the body off, probably to his lair. And his career was just warming up. Get it? 'Cause he was frozen and then he was thawing and that is warming.
Let's search the console.
So.
Anton Blubber?
Yeah. Tank number 1. That was the guy that you just...
I was supposed to dump both of them.
Yeah, I just did the first one. And it's certain tasks, like certain things you can pick 2 actions for, but some of them, yeah.
Did it use the action points for all of it, or?
No.
Did it use any points whatsoever?
You can see in the top left you have moves left. 5
out of 4.
Yeah, it's just because whenever you leave this, it takes 1 point, so it gives you that extra point. So, tank number 5, Philip Kindred, committed in 2019, September 15.
Now we dumped Blubber.
Yeah, we dumped
Blubber man on there.
Yeah, dumped Blubber. Anton Blubber.
I bet the wife put him in there so she could have an affair.
I don't want to make any assumptions on that. I mean,
I think Lloyd Blankcheck is basically Walt Disney, though.
The dust on the ground makes it easy for your trained eye to pick out one set of tracks in particular. They seem to belong to a humanoid dragging something, probably a mantle or cloak. It was here fairly recently, probably in the past 24 hours. It entered through the doorway, walked to your stasis tank, went to the control console, and then left. You'd bet good money that it wasn't the dogman you just faced.
I didn't read that as mantle or cloak. I read it as mantle or clock, and I was thinking like the full mantle, like the front of a fireplace, just dragging it behind them.
Beautiful.
I guess we gotta leave then.
Yep. Now, the cryo building is a really good place to set up camp because it keeps you out of the cold, out of the elements, and stuff like that.
Doesn't it have clean water too?
No.
Oh.
You have to search for a clean water source. Or search for. What are you doing?
Climbing out the window.
Yeah, the current selected response will show you.
Oh. So apparently search for clues trumps all else.
Yeah, it takes precedent, I guess.
Because I guess it's an actual action that requires a skill.
I guess. You decide to go outside and see if you can figure out where you are. Avoiding the broken glass, you step onto the sill and outside.
Stepping on a still would be a little bit more difficult because,
Yeah.
I mean, all the copper tubing.
Wrestling some plants that have grown wild in the area. It's cool outside and damp, probably morning. The distant report of a gun catches your attention. Oh, you cock your head listening, but it's over as quick as it started. Obviously, you're not alone out here, though that doesn't necessarily comfort you. So you hear a gunshot. You're in the parking lot of the Gygas Cryo facility, but everything looks disused and in disrepair. Plants have pushed their way through the pavement and over the facility. Worst of all, nothing looks familiar. You don't remember this place or even who you are. Your frustration mounts, but you catch it and put it in check. Might as well take a look around. When traveling the world in Neo Scavenger, you will notice some hexes with boxes or magnifying glasses on them. I'm reading this for you, Jacob.
Oh, I'll just read it then. Boxes mean that the hex has items to pick up. Who cares?
It's important.
Oh,
Yeah.
Too bad.
So, as you can see right here, it's got a yellow magnifying glass.
Mm-hmm.
That means you haven't scavenged in this area yet, and you just added a camp icon.
Nope, it's gone.
So you can go to scavenge right here. Wow.
Oh well.
But you choose what you're scavenging, and then it shows the scavenge.
And it doesn't use the point until...
It does. It'll tell you how many points it uses as well.
No, I mean, it doesn't use it until you select that and hit confirm?
Until you select confirm, yeah.
Okay.
So, scavenge using medical knowledge. Oh, despite its high-tech appearance, this facility seems to be tucked away in the wilderness, out of sight. This bodes well for the chances of finding something valuable or even shelter. Providing nothing else has set up shop here with those same ideals.
Keen observation or medical knowledge, do you think?
You can use one or the other. You can scavenge with both, but it'll just pick one, and then it'll let you do the other one. I think.
I found something!
Probably used your medical knowledge.
Yep.
So you got a pocket knife,
shards,
a multi-tool, you got shards of glass, and you got a medical kit. That med kit is really valuable if it's got...
Can I put it as the backpack?
No. You have to carry it in your hand.
Yeah. So if I put it in my hand...
Now...
okay, good, I can still...
Yeah. Now, take into consideration that right now you're at the camp, or you're at what do you call it? You're at the cryo facility, so you can just leave stuff here, come back and pick it up. If you're gonna make this your camp.
Now, I do want to check this place.
So you'd click. It tells you the movement cost is 1.
Mm-hmm.
As you approach the town, there is no sign of activity. Buildings stand.
That's not a town. That's a frickin' city.
Vehicles are overturned and blackened with fire. Explosion marks radiate outward from walls and pavement. In the distance, strange-looking creatures circle in the sky like monstrous, leathery vultures. The world has drastically changed from what you knew. Some sort of cataclysm has befallen Earth, returning mankind to the Dark Ages. And along with it, your hopes of finding a warm meal and some answers. You decide to look around and scavenge what you can find from the ruins. So...
Oh, and then a flat grassland.
Yeah.
So, scavenge. That's there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the thing.
It's very small. There's something. And there. Now you have big fire. Now your character should not be freezing. That's how it works.
Okay, so now...
You can also do something like this. You can take this, you can take your pocket knife and make a spear.
Let's do it.
And now you have a improvised weapon.
Do I still have... I do still have the pocket knife.
Yeah, it does lower its durability. So its condition went from like 7% to 6.8% or something like that.
Let's end this.
Oh no. Oh no. But it's warmth and not freezing to death beats hygiene every day. So what you do, let me see, because I forgot to mention this, the next time you go to sleep, you have to pick the campsite. So, that's new.
What is that?
That's a good question.
Can we kill it?
That's also another good question.
Let's throw the shards at it.
That's a good question. I've never seen that.
Alright.
A Yazinka.
Hello, friend!
You have to click on the ground. I'm looking this up because I've never seen. Yazinka. Yazinka is a solitary and stealthy creature haunting the central region of the map. During each game, only one such creature exists, and unlike the Murga Wraith, roams the map. Because of that, it is possible for it to be killed by the other creatures before the player has a chance to meet it. Yazinka is obsessed with stalking humanoids for their eyes. To fill this need, it will try to ambush the character while sleeping at night. It is also attracted to the jar of screaming eyes.
Oh, lovely.
These are interesting facts because I've never seen this creature ever in my entire life. When approached, and will hurl stones or attack when in melee range. The most debilitating attack involves stealing the target's eyes. The range of this technique is within melee range, and close contact should always be avoided when possible. Somehow managing to kill Yazinka after it escapes with the player's eyes will not make them regain their vision. If the player's eyes got plucked, they will receive a permanent blind and no eyes condition. In this state, they can only see their own hex and move 1 hex per turn, while battles are limited to within melee range. However, if they're rich, lucky enough, they can... Okay, yeah. If you have like electrical or electrician and mechanical, you could probably fix them. Yep, it's a vent. Sure would be nice if one of those go back. Sure would be nice if one of those mechanics or maintenance guys were around. Yeah, you can add a camp icon, by the way, if you want to be able to see where you're at.
I can put a fire down here, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can... You took off your amulet, didn't you? There is a sudden roar and a rush of dry air as blinding blue-white light bathes the area. Formless darkness begins to appear from within, and soon it emerges, an impenetrably black silhouette, endlessly casting off fragments of itself. Orange burns from its center, pierced by the scattering fragments of black. It's already moving by the time you can resolve its shape, and its crude chalk-white face is fixed on you. As it starts closing the gap towards you, you notice the mantle of blackness dragging on the ground, like those tracks at the cryo facility. Welcome to your death. Just start stabbing.
Stab.
And you're gonna die very quickly now. He is vulnerable though, so if you're... Well, no, you used the flurry, so... Now you just, like, the flurry you have to recover. It's like a hyper beam. You attack with all your might once, and then, yeah, you have to take a turn. Melee is pretty simple. And the tore open player's upper right arm with a grasp, and stunned and unable to move for a second, your minor pain.
He shredded my left leg with a grasp.
Yep, fell to the ground. Left leg is crippled. Severe pain. Having trouble concentrating. You're fallen and stunned. And you're gonna die. Unconscious, bleeding, shock.
Shredded my lower right arm.
Yeah, okay. And there you go.